Hello, fellow collectors. I'm here at New York Comic Con with the legendary writer of the X-Men that launched the whole schmear into the modern age, Chris Claremont.
Good morning.
Now, Chris, I wanted everybody to know about your documentary. It's running on is
Netflix, I believe?
Netflix, yeah, or Amazon too, right? Maybe
Or both. I actually don't know.
That's awesome.
I have Netflix, I don't have Amazon.
When did that happen?
Oh, God, years ago. Very pre-COVID.
Oh, okay, but it came out recently that I saw, and I was very impressed with it, and it really refreshed in my memory, what an impact you had on the X-Men as a brand and the storylines and everything moving forward that made it the largest selling comic book in the industry.
Well, it's the interesting thing about comics, and especially Marvel comics, is that at its best it is a collaboration. It's not simply a collaboration with the writer and the artist the writer is working with, but also the writer and the editors who help the writer shape what's going on. And in my case, as you see in the documentary, I was working with two of the best in the industry, Louise Simonson and Senti. And with the three of us just chatting for a while, you get to see how we interact as people, but more importantly, how we interact as professionals, with me pitching ideas to them, they just saying, well, what do you think of this? And me trying to figure out, oh, that made sense. Wow, that's a great idea. Let's go in that direction and see what happens next.
That's cool. The impression I got is that the three of you actually like each other.
Well, that helps too.
Right? I mean,
we've been friends for a ridiculous amount of time.
And now you love each other, and you were working together. You loved working together, and you loved putting that material out there. And I mean, I'm grateful for it because this was right on the edge of my childhood reading. Because I basically, when I hit 8th grade, it kind of stopped, and that was right there, right there. So I was reading X-Men
Wait, you
comics.
stopped at 8th grade? Shame on you.
Puberty, sports, girls.
Yeah, we have all of that in the book.
Yeah. So the great thing is that these storylines for you are now still being redone in the movies and such.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, you have a good lawyer?
No, it's Marvel's property. Marvel can play with it however they like. My only regret is that a sense that everybody cinematically gets to play with it but me, which is always an amusing frustration.
Right.
But that's the way it is with the industry, and Hollywood especially.
Well, like, what about with Days of Future Past when that came out? Did they take care of you on that? No?
No.
I have a really good lawyer for you. I just did a contract with one of my artists that I got to put those up.
It's a balance. I mean, they can bring creators in for a cameo here and a cameo there, but it's very, very precise to make sure that Len Wein, who is also in the story, and I have my brain is going.
John Byrne? Or?
No, it was me and Len Wein.
Yeah. Anyway.
But the point being that the contracts are very, very, very precise. We each have the same amount of screen time. We each have the same amount of words of dialogue. This is the disadvantage of interviewing someone before the convention's open at the crack of dawn.
No, but it's fans want to know that the storylines that you created, you're getting taken care of on that.
I'm taken care of.
Yeah,
it's just,
that's cool.
The challenge is always expanding to a different frame of reference.
Right. So are you?
I mean, there was once a point of time in X-Men history when we had an opportunity to have a film, the X-Men film, produced by Jim Cameron, and
mid-90s.
late 90s.
Late
No. This is the late 80s.
Oh, late 80s.
So Stan and I went to a meeting with Cameron, and we were going to pitch him the X-Men, and he was going to pitch us Catherine Bigelow as the director. Which for me, I would have been, and I was ecstatic about, because who better to direct a series built around a half dozen strong female characters than Catherine Bigelow. And that was before she even hit her stride.
Hurt Locker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Academy Award-winning director for Hurt Locker.
But Stan had a different...
With Hawkeye, by the way.
But Stan had a different agenda, which was to pitch Cameron Spider-Man, which he did. And Cameron, being a deep fan of Spider-Man, embraced it passionately. He would write it, he would produce it, he would direct it, it would be wonderful. And Stan's going, yes. And I'm sitting there watching the X-Men shrivel up and fly
Fade
away.
off into Never Neverland.
So, you know,
Which
you play your
eventually got
cards.
Bryan Singer, and he did a good job on a lot of stuff. So, yes or no?
no comment.
Okay, no comment.
Well, he actually did the best job necessary, because without X-Men, there would be no Marvel Universe, there would be no Spider-Man, there would be no Avengers 2, Secret Wars. The multi-billion dollars
Of
that
Marvel
Marvel
Studios.
Studios has made over the last 20 years possibly, seriously, might not have come into being
Yep.
without the first X-Men movie.
And if you go back, you can extrapolate that to, without your work on X-Men, there might not have been Marvel publishing to that,
No,
because
but that-
you really revitalized the brand.
But that was my ambition with Cameron, was I wanted to just sit there for the first movie and take notes, sit, you know, among the director and the producer's chairs and take notes, learn the craft of storytelling on film, of writing for film, learn it the old-fashioned way by actually watching it happen.
Right.
And then, what, knock wood, the second film was greenlit, come in with a pitch of my own.
Right.
But, and I actually was taking that attitude with Lauren Schuler Donner when we were putting together X-Men with Bryan Singer, but Bryan had no interest in that. He
Right.
had his own agenda, and Marvel went through new ownership after new ownership, and Avi Arad ended up with control of the Marvel Studios, and his assistant Kevin Feige, and we know what happened next.
Yes.
So people can have all the ambitions they want, hence the phrase, people plan, God laughs.
That's awesome. Well, thank you.
It would have been, I would have loved it to be better. So,
But
you know,
Are you working on any books right now, or are you just doing your?
I'm actually working on this, which is the sequel to the Madripoor story, where Wolverine and Captain America teamed up with Black Widow. And this basically what happens starting 2 hours after that story ends.
Was that the original one that Travis Charest did?
No, God, no. That
No.
was Jim Lee. This is Jim Lee.
Oh, Jim Lee. Okay, great.
And it'll be, the first issue hits the stands in February.
That's awesome.
Next
So
year.
I really appreciate your time and taking a few minutes in your, haven't had enough coffee state. But we got some really nice information that
my
will go
pleasure.
out to the fans. So I'm Anthony with Anthony's Comic Book Art.
And
Here,
I'm Chris Claremont. I
With the
wrote,
legend.
write, and will continue to write X-Men.